Hello and welcome. This is Faceless Opinion, currently chilling in the Night Mother's coffin. Welcome you back to another Skyrim video. So for today, we're going to be continuing with our power scaling series. I already made videos of the Dragonborn and the Harbinger of the Companions. Now it's time to cover the leader of a different faction. How powerful is the listener of the Dark Brotherhood? Ground rules, because we need them. We're going to pretend the Dragonborn forsake their destiny and want to join the Dark Brotherhood. Or perhaps someone else came in and ended up becoming the listener. It doesn't matter that much. All that really matters, and what you need to know, is we're going to determine the equipment, powers, and feats that the listener acquires throughout the Dark Brotherhood questline, assassination contracts, and other quests that are connected with the group. Now, what does the listener have in their arsenal? Starting off with armor, the best set of armor that would be available to the listener would be the Ancient Shrouded Armor, which is a more modified and powerful version of the standard Brotherhood Shrouded Armor, with many different enchantments, such as having 100% poison resistance, muffling footsteps, and allows the wearer to move silently, makes it to where bows can do 30% more damage, and double sneak attack damage with all one-handed weapons. Another item that is not armor, but also can give the listener some extra oomph, would be the Nightweaver Band, which is a magic ring that increases sneak and lowers the cost of destruction spells. There's also Miuri's Ring as well, which improves upon potion crafting. Moving over to weapons, we have Aegisbane, a unique iron warhammer that can be collected from Elaine Dufont, which can do frost damage to both health and stamina. And we also have the Blade of Woe, a dagger that can absorb health from the person being attacked. Those are the main weapons acquired from the Dark Brotherhood questline. However, there is the possibility of the listener getting two more. Those being called Edu and Oaken, an ancient Nordic sword and axe combo that do frost damage. These two weapons can be found in the Nordic tomb of Valenrune, the same place where you meet Amon Motier to start the plan to assassinate the Emperor. Personally, it is up to you if you want to add Edu and Oaken to the listener's inventory. I'm mentioning them since some of the Dark Brotherhood's quests can get intertwined with the quest that happens in Valenrune called Silenced Tongues, so it is possible for the listener to get these weapons. Two more things that the listener would also have access to would be a wide variety of poisons, and Shadowmere, the pure black horse that comes out of a puddle of ooze that acts as the listener's mount. When it comes to magical abilities, the listener doesn't have much except two spells, Flames and Healing, which everyone has access to. So that's about it. Does the listener know any shouts? Yes. Marked for Death being one where the target hit by this shout takes an armor penalty and will begin to start losing health. You also have access to Aura Whisper, which allows you to detect nearby life, even being able to locate things that wouldn't count as being alive, such as undead, Daedra, and automatons. However, put an asterisk next to Aura Whisper, since the only way the listener gains this shout is by doing the Silenced Tongues quest in Valenrune. And like I said earlier, it is up to you if you want to count that into the scaling. If you do, the listener knows two shouts. If not, only one shout. When it comes to other abilities, the listener has one last thing in their ever-growing bag of tricks, and that would be the ability to summon Spectral Assassin, where you can summon a ghostly follower that can aid you in combat. But this is no ordinary ghost. This is the spirit of Lucian Lachance, a legendary member of the Dark Brotherhood who served as Speaker of the Black Hand and played a sizable role in the Dark Brotherhood storyline in the previous game, Oblivion, just to give you an idea of how significant the Spectral Assassin is. Now, across our journey in Skyrim, the listener will face off against numerous enemy types, such as bandits, Draugr, spirits, a troll, automatons, to even the Emperor's personal security detail, the Pantis Oculatus. For achievements that the listener has done, we have them escaping the City of Solitude after the wedding assassination, infiltrating and escaping Castle Dower after killing the fake Emperor, surviving the destruction of the Dark Brotherhood Sanctuary while hiding in the Night Mother's coffin. As a brief aside, we have no idea how long the listener was trapped inside that coffin. It could have been a few hours, it could have been at least a day, we just don't know. Moving on, we also have them sneaking aboard the Cataraya and assassinating the Emperor, as well as rebuilding the Dawnstar Sanctuary, and it's the sole reason as to why the Dark Brotherhood still exists. In regard to any fights that the listener has throughout the Dark Brotherhood questline, there are quite a few of them as they end up having many contracts for people who need to be offed. Here are some of the more prominent ones worth mentioning, starting off with Elaine Dufont, the leader of a group of bandits residing in the Dwemer ruin of Rabelthar, being our first real contract and challenge. Next, we have Hearn, the vampire who lives at Half Moon Mill. Now, is he that powerful? No. However, upon talking to Nazir after completing the contract, he will state that you fought a vampire and lived to tell about it, foregoing his usual sarcastic remarks, which implies that Hearn might have been more dangerous than initially believed, which I find rather noteworthy. Other worthwhile contracts go to the likes of Manranjaro, Agnes, Helvard, and Safia. Manranjaro is a Khajiit wizard who travels along with the caravans across Skyrim, making him a tricky target. Agnes is an old lady who works as a housekeeper. Now I hear you say, Faceless, what makes her so dangerous? The fact that she's located in a heavily occupied military fort is going to make her a rather difficult mark to reach. Helvard is the housecarl to the Jarl of Falkreath. You know, his bodyguard, and that alone should tell you how much of a big deal he is. Safia is a pirate captain of the ship called the Red Wave. She is the most dangerous of all of Nazir's contracts, as she has had the Dark Brotherhood try to assassinate her in the past multiple times. And upon her death, Nazir is genuinely surprised and impressed by this. Continuing on, we also have Commander Morrow, the leader of the Panatus Oculatus, who has a vendetta against the Brotherhood, since it was the Brotherhood, the listener in particular, who killed his son Gaius. We also have two other people to mention as well, but it is up to you if you want to count them on the listener's kill count. The first being the spectral draugr Kevnal the Tongue, who you can fight in Volenrune during the quest Silence Tongues. He is very powerful as he has his iconic weapons Edu and Oaken, knows a wide variety of magic, and knows how to shout, making him a tough opponent. The other person who I put in this category is Cicero. His fate is dependent on whether the listener chooses to spare him in the quest The Cure for Madness. Cicero is who I consider to be one of the more dangerous members of the Brotherhood, since he was able to critically wound the likes of Vizara and Armbjorn, meaning that this fool is no joke in a fight. Well, that covers everything we had regarding the listener. Now it's time to answer the question, how strong is the listener? I would say they are quite strong, as they have faced off against numerous different contracts with varying degrees of skills and abilities, making them come off as a jack-of-all-trades type of person who can deal with most issues. Am I saying they could solo everyone in the country? Unlikely, as there are some very powerful figures living in Skyrim. Though if you have a contract placed on you, and the listener is the one going after you, all I have to say is that your soul is going to Sithis, as the listener is the most deadliest assassin in Tamriel. I mean, they did kill the Emperor after all. Now tell me, how powerful do you think the listener of the Dark Brotherhood is? What do you think of my analysis? Do you believe that the Silence Tongues quest should be factored into the scaling or not? Comment down below. I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to leave a like and make sure you subscribe for more Skyrim Month content. Until next time, I'll catch you all on the flip side.